All right, let's jump right in. Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to challenge a massive fundamental assumption about how we literally go about our everyday lives. We're unpacking a deeply fascinating concept from a text known as the sixth word, and the core theme here is the illusion of absolute ownership. I mean, we all walk around every single day operating under this baked-in belief that our possessions, our physical bodies, and our time belong 100% entirely to us. But the source material we're looking at today asks a really profound question that completely flips this worldview completely upside down. It's my life, I'll use it however I want. You've definitely heard this before, right? It's basically the ultimate mantra of modern hyper-individualism, especially among young people today. It's everywhere. And honestly, it sounds like the absolute peak of empowerment. It creates this exhilarating sense of ultimate, boundless freedom. We kind of think, hey, because we're the main characters of our own lives, we hold the absolute, unquestionable title deed to everything we are and everything we have. But the text we're exploring challenges this head-on, suggesting that this mindset is actually just a massive illusion. Which brings us to the central question of our explainer today. Are the things we own really completely ours? On the surface, sure, it's a simple question, but it is specifically designed to create some immediate cognitive dissonance. Just think about it for a second. When you really strip away the ego and look at the bare reality of human existence, how much of what you call yours did you actually physically create? The text totally shatters our assumption of absolute ownership by pointing out a very simple, undeniable biological reality.
Section 1. Is your life really yours?
To really grasp the profound philosophy of the sixth word, we first have to recognize our own limitations. We have to look at the very foundation of our existence, our actual bodies and our physical reality, and ask, who is the real author here? Your eyes? Your mind? Your heartbeat? Your time? Look, you didn't manufacture your eyes in some underground lab. You didn't design the insanely complex neural networks of your own mind. You definitely didn't jumpstart your own heartbeat, and you certainly didn't put time in your pocket and bring it into this world with you, right? When we look at it this way, it is wild to realize how incredibly little of our own existence and biology we actually control or created. Everything that makes it possible for you to even experience the world was given to you.
Section 2. You are not the owner. You are a trustee. Okay, so here's where the source material introduces a massive paradigm shift. According to the text, life and wealth are part of a divine transaction. The text centers on this incredible idea that the Creator purchases the lives and wealth of believers in exchange for paradise. But it notes that this isn't just a simple marketplace transaction, because the things being purchased, your body, your mind, your abilities, well, they already belong to the Creator who gave them to you in the first place. So the absolutely crucial point here is this definition, trustee or emenetchi in the original text. A trustee is someone who holds and manages the body, mind, and resources given to them rather than being the absolute owner. This completely changes our relationship with our resources. You aren't the CEO who owns the company. You're the manager entrusted with running it perfectly for the actual owner. And when you finally realize you're holding someone else's property, your entire sense of responsibility completely shifts.
Section 3. The seed and eternal fruits.
To really drive this concept home, the author uses an incredibly powerful metaphor. Our given trusts, so our time, our health, our wealth, they're not just static, boring objects. They are dynamic. They are bursting with potential, very much like a tiny seed waiting to be planted. But a seed's destiny depends entirely on where and how you plant it. If we act as absolute owners, using these trusts purely for the ego, just chasing instant gratification and showing off, the source notes that the seed simply rots, it decays, it literally loses all of its value. But if these trusts are used with the exact right intention, in the way the Creator wants, fully acknowledging that you are a trustee, that same seed grows, it gains immense value and yields eternal fruits. It is the exact same resource, but the mindset changes the outcome entirely.
Section 4. Using trusts correctly in youth.
Let's pivot for a second and apply this profound philosophical concept directly to the modern youth experience, because this is huge. This is arguably the most crucial time to understand the concept of being a trustee, because youth is when we're handed our absolute most potent and energetic resources. And obviously it's also when the temptation to use them purely for instant gratification is at its absolute peak. Think of it as a daily youth inventory portfolio. Your phone, your time, your physical body, your talents, and your money. We naturally tend to view these as just casual tools or fun status symbols. But under the philosophy of the sixth word, these are highly valuable trusts. Just think about how young people are managing these today. A smartphone isn't just a glowing piece of glass, it is a massive drain on the trust of time and mental energy. Talents and bodies are so often used for fleeting social media validation rather than any kind of meaningful growth. Every single day, young people are managing a massive, high-stakes portfolio of trusts.
So we all have to stop and confront ourselves with this question. Am I using these solely for my pleasure? Are you wasting your youthful energy, your health, and your digital resources just for showing off or for some momentary forgettable entertainment? The source material urges the reader to really evaluate whether they are steering these incredible gifts in a direction that would satisfy the one who entrusted them in the very first place.
And the ultimate takeaway regarding our modern obsession with just doing whatever we want is this. True freedom, according to this framework, is not recklessly wasting what you've been given. True freedom is directing the trust where it actually gains value. When you use your time, your health, and your resources in alignment with their higher purpose, you aren't restricting your freedom at all. You are actually maximizing the absolute value of your existence. You're turning a decaying seed into an eternal fruit.
Section 5. The three-step trust test.
So we've talked a lot about the big theory here, but the source text offers a very practical application, which is great. Let's dive right into an exercise derived directly from this philosophy, so you can actually apply this trustee mindset to your own life today. Consider this your actionable homework, based on the text. Step 1. Write down 3 things you possess right now. It could literally be anything: your time, a specific talent you have, your money, your physical health, or your intellect. Step 2. Next to each item, ask the question, how can I use this with the consciousness of a trustee? Like, how would a smart, responsible manager handle this asset, rather than an absolute greedy owner? And step 3, change its direction. If you find you're using your phone just to doom scroll for hours, or your money just for buying status, actively redirect that trust towards something that builds lasting, eternal value. Which leaves us with this final, lingering thought to ponder. Which trust will you rethink today? Look at your life not as a random collection of things you own and can just casually destroy, but as a masterpiece you have been personally handed to protect, manage, and grow. Because once you realize you don't actually own it, you finally learn how to truly value it. Think about that as you go about managing your inventory today.